The Beach Boys' 1966 masterpiece, Pet Sounds, gets its Highlights Sessions album released for its 60th anniversary, available in black vinyl in the standard version, with an Amazon exclusive yellow vinyl version, and the fantastic splatter green and white. Today on another vinyl show, it's the Beach Boys Highlights. Ike Frasier Industries presents another vinyl show with Ike Frasier. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Ike Frasier. What another Pet Sounds video. Well, you know, when the box set originally came out for Pet Sounds, it was so that we could get a real stereo Pet Sounds. So this is the duophonic. This is second pressing duophonic. And people are like, oh, Ike, are you crazy? Why do you got that? Well, one, I love cover variations, right? So this is the only time period that second pressing in 67 has 4 stereo phonographs instead of the duophonic. It has the split capital dot with the DT. Got a 66 Sounds Great bag in there. We'll go into the duophonic pressing later because, you know what, it's really not as terrible as everybody says. It has a few merits to it, but we'll get into that later. And so then we got the stereo Pet Sounds. And then, of course, the box set and the 40th anniversary box set. And so now we have, instead of the box set coming out completely on vinyl, part of it as the highlights. And that's today as the highlights. The Beach Boys Pet Sound Sessions Highlights 2 LP, white green splattered vinyl textured tip-on jacket, 1997 box set, highlights 27 acapella alternate takes tracking sessions, and new liner notes first time on vinyl. Woo, pow. And I tell you what, that textured jacket is really, really nice. First off, that's really great packaging there. And you open that gatefold up. It's got a nice little Pet Sounds insert there. Of course, the Pet Sounds box had a huge amount of liner notes with it, with a thick book with interviews with almost everybody they could get a hold of. And of course, slick on the inside, textured on the front and the back. And you see all those great tracks on there. And let's get in there. Oh my goodness, right? That's just beautiful. I almost wish the splatter Pet Sounds would have been like that. Which, this is the splatter Pet Sounds. It's not open, but that's number 1835 for that one. Right there. But there you go, look at that. That's beautiful. Really nice. It does go whoop in the run out groove. And I wasn't going to open this one until I realized, of course, you look at that shrink and it has the Made in Mexico on there. So if you remember our Ringo Starr videos, you would know that those records weren't very clean. But these actually were pretty clean. And I was surprised about that. And I'm going to change these into the black sleeves. You know, I love my colored vinyl to be in a solid black sleeve. But it's a really great set. And I snuck around and listened to that before we did this video. And I was going to say, what's it say on the little card here? It says, what we got? 10 vocal only tracks, 8 instrumentals, 5 alternate versions, Caroline No at the original speed, Brian's demo, and there's a little bonus of I Guess I Just Wasn't Made for These Times at the end of Here Today on side 3, and it's not listed, so that's a little surprise on there. I really do miss the Brian wanting to bring his horse into the studio. That'd be really bitchin' if I could bring my horse in here. But the Highlights is really great set. It's got new liner notes. Of course, it's got Brian original liner notes from the 30th anniversary there. But it's really nice packaging, as they call it, a tip-on jacket there. It's got nice dark chipboard, dark gray chipboard on the inside of it. And it is textured on the outside. Really beautiful, really great set. Of course, Good Vibrations is on here, of course, like it was on the box set. And there's so many different Good Vibrations. Smile Sessions has Good Vibration sessions on it. The 12-inch single of Good Vibrations, which also is beautiful. Color vinyl for that one too. So if you ever see the 12-inch out there, that's what that looks like. They're really sweet. They're not very expensive. And these have a whole side of Good Vibrations on them, and the first live performance of Good Vibrations. So that's really great. And it has the alternate Japanese sleeve as a bonus in there for your Good Vibrations 12-inch. But with all the things going on, we'll say that the stereo record and the highlights, that's as close as you get to the box set. Now, is this a precursor since they didn't do that with vinyl for Pepper? Do you think that they're going to make a Pepper Sessions highlight next year for the anniversary? We'll see what happens with that, or if they do anything for the next anniversary for Pepper. But this, great. It sounds great. The vinyl was really clean. It's heavy. It's, of course, fantastic and splattered. And you get Trombone Dixie on vinyl for the first time. And the alternate versions are really great because you can see, like, Mike Love singing Here Today. Right? Is he singing Here Today? Here Today. I think that's really a great vocal by him. But him singing I'm Waiting for the Day doesn't work out, and we think that's why Brian takes it. Carl singing the lead for the opening of Sloop John B. It's great to hear Carl, but it also shows you that Brian needed more power in that vocal, so that's why he took that. The sax solo is good, but it's not as great as the finished product. Hang On to Your Ego, the alternate take. It's great that they put that on there. You know, Mike changed those lyrics, and the first lyric says, I know so many people that can do it alone. And he's trying to say you can't do it alone. But then Mike changes the lyrics to, but I have to find it by myself. So there's a contradiction in that. And so Hang On to Your Ego gives you the real lyrics as they were supposed to be. God Only Knows. Tracking sessions, really just great on here to hear Brian and how he works everybody in the studio. And then the vocals and the backing tracks really show you that the power of the Beach Boys music, as great as those instrumental tracks are from the voices. You know, you hear the power of those voices just by themselves. And in backing tracks, you can hear kind of how naked they are. You know, so it's a really great juxtaposition to show, and they're both equally important, but it's the Beach Boys vocals that can give it almost a viciousness in some, I guess I just wasn't made for these times. It's ferocious. You know, you have those vocal layers on there, and so you've got the sometimes I feel very sad line. Then at the same time, you have the ain't found the right thing to put my heart and soul into. But then Brian has another falsetto back there, and he's singing something else, and I've never figured out what that is, and even on the separations, they don't have that on there. So if anybody knows what that third Brian Wilson vocal is, you put that in the comments there. Somebody with a lot better ears than me most likely could do it. But this set's really great, and for all of us that, you know, got the box set back in the day and were a little disappointed because there wasn't any vinyl, well, now here it is. It's really great. It has a really nice sleeve, really packaging. It's got great spine on there. I mean, everything about this set is high class, and you're not going to go wrong with it. It's black vinyl, which they say doesn't have the whoop in the run-out groove. They got the yellow vinyl from Amazon. That's one I was kind of thinking about getting because I do like the idea of the yellow, but I just can't resist splatter. And so that's really it. That's your opening up of the Highlights album with all of its fantastic color vinyl and inserts. And it's your old pal Ike Frasier, and I'll be talking to you soon. I hope you enjoy that right there. And if you got this one, tell me which one you got, and we'll be talking to you soon. We'll be talking about another record, but like I said, we're going to do something about this duophonic right here. Because I definitely love that white top on there. Now, it probably would have been a lot better if they'd put a yellow topper on there, like they did on Sgt. Pepper, Capitol Records. But it's still pretty cool. I don't think Pet Sounds is the worst record cover of all time. It's a little different, for sure. There are plenty of silly record covers that make this look like abstract art. But anyway, it's your old pal Ike Frasier, and I'll be talking to you soon. Happy anniversary to Pet Sounds, and we'll see you next time.